Alright YouTube, what is going on? It is ConflctNerd Callum here today, bringing you another episode of my Transport Fever Let's Play. Let's connect up the Grand Canyon. Today we're starting off here in Richardson, because I've seen that Richardson was having quite a lot of, I guess, problems with just people queuing and waiting on buses, and it looks like it's the Boulder-Richardson bus line which is the issue. So if we jump in here, we're looking for the Boulder to Richardson, or Richardson to Boulder. So this is it's at a profit of 2.48 million, but the capacity is just not there. It looks like all the buses that are coming in are full, which is a shame, don't get me wrong, but we just need to go ahead and add more buses onto this. So first of all, we do have some buses which have fortunately been returned from other routes, so I'm just going to assign those 3 out, and hopefully that should clear up some of the waiting. We also assigned more buses onto the Willow Creek line in the last episode, just because buses were just way too full, so I'm hoping that things have eased up. And I'm worried about this bus station here, but it looks like it's coping fine, to be honest, with all the routes, which is good. So it's Willow Creek to Tejada, there's a lot of people waiting, which is very good to see. I'm guessing you might just, and it looks like up this end as well, it's needing just a bit of a capacity boost. Definitely is needing that boost, I think, actually. So I think I'm going to assign 2 new buses onto that as well. So that is the Willow Creek to Tejada. I just want to see, and even Richardson at this end, connecting Tejada to Richardson, I think they all need more buses, I'm not going to lie. So we're going to get 2 new buses for each. I'm not going to worry about the colour right now, but we're going to start off with the Richardson Tejada is going to get 2 more buses, and then also I'm going to buy 2 more buses for the Tejada Willow Creek line as well. So where are we at? The Tejada Willow Creek. So hopefully that should ease things up and get people moving, because Tejada is a town which has grown a lot and I want to continue to see it grow. It's up at 600 people, so I think Tejada is a possible candidate with Richardson, a joint airport, probably up on this plateau up here, maybe over here. We'll look to it in the future. Richardson has got a population of 800 now, so Boulder must be at 1,000 by now. Like, not joking, Boulder must be at, it's not even at 1,000, so it's interesting to see. I think these 3 towns between them could host an airport, I think. So that is something to look to, and that would connect up to somewhere on the other side of the map. I don't know where, which will have a large population. Probably Arvada, to be honest, going forwards. So I want to inquire about building a railway line in this episode, and I want to connect up a few towns, but it's going to be so difficult to go ahead and add in railways. So I want to start off with boats first of all, and we'll maybe come back to railways. The bottom line is we can't get railway lines in the valleys, that's the problem. So from Willow Creek, for example, to Boulder, I can't build a railway, because where am I going to build a railway station here in Willow Creek, for example? Where? Unless I do it right at the bottom of town, which is already halfway on its way to Boulder, which again, where would I build a train station in Boulder? It's just not going to happen. It can happen on the surface tops, for example, Silverton could easily host a train station, along with Thompson, all these sort of towns, but I just can't get anything down in the valleys. So what I want to do is go ahead and try build some boats. Boats is something that I've not really built at all before, so and that's what we're going to do. So I want to connect up Ward's Ranch, probably up to somewhere in between Boulder and Jackson, because I don't think Jackson maybe could have its own port, actually. Maybe not, I'm not really at all sure. It's going to be difficult to create that connection, that's the thing. So if Jackson was to have its own port, it can have its own port, but I just need to go ahead and remove some housing. So we maybe, yeah, I think we should give Jackson its own port. Let's do that. So first of all, though, we'll worry about where we're going to build this in, down here in Ward's Ranch. So I've never built a boat before in my life in this game, so this is new for me. So what I would love to do is do that there, but too much slope, docks outside Can we build you there? Tell you what, if we build you there, then there's a bus stop right at the top, which is good, so hopefully we can just go ahead and build you there, and then what we can do is just move the road a little bit. So we'll delete you guys there, and what we'll do is we'll just create a connection like that. So that is that dock, I guess, made. not that pretty to be honest, but it will do. I might go ahead and look in the, because that's something I didn't actually go ahead and look in the Steam Workshop for, was custom harbours, so we'll start off with this default one for now. Then what you'll do is you guys will sail upstream. Now, I don't know where to. Richardson seems to be having even more people problems, which I thought we solved, but obviously not. Let's very quickly just check. So the Boulder Richardson, it's got a 3 million profit, it's down to 51 seconds, but I just think it needs bendy buses, I'm not going to lie. Like, you're coming in there with 30 passengers, so... Definitely something which we need to continue to monitor, because we need to keep these passengers moving. It's good to see actually the Boulder transfer, it's got much less people waiting at it, and in general Jackson is a much quieter place, though in saying that you're about to get a bit busier again with this new harbour. So what I need to do is I need to go ahead and probably, how steep is this? This is incredibly steep, so what I want to do is jump into here, and I'm starting to think that harbour there is not going to be feasible. Just because it's so, you need to come so far down, it's just aligning the terrain is the problem. So what about here? That would work, and then we can have a road connection going up there, and then we just have to alter the bus route quite a bit and add even more buses. So I think that's what we're going to do, so we'll add that in there. Now, creating a road connection, this will be the... Okay, quite easy. There we go, so that's that built. So the thing is, we need to go ahead and alter the bus line. Like, we need to already add in a new bus stop. This is the last bus stop in the town. So we need to go ahead and add in at least 2 new bus stops, which we'll start off by doing. Then we'll go ahead and add in the boat. So when the boat gets starting moving, I guess, we can go ahead and support the new demand which are coming in, the new people that are coming up from Ward's Ranch. So we're going to add in 3 new bus stops, I think, all in all, actually. In saying that, though, this town is so close to connecting up to Boulder, and I know it will eventually, I know it will. We are going to double this whole road up soon as well, actually, because I think that's going to be required. But with those 2 extra bus stops, I'm just going to add in another bus stop there. So this bus is going to be stopping a lot, but I am going to add a lot more buses onto this route, do not worry. So let's grab this here, the Boulder to Jackson, which is actually becoming one of our most travelled on and profitable routes, which is kind of surprising compared to, like, starting off Jackson had 51 people. I thought, it's just a tiny town, we'll just send like a few buses. I think we started off with like 3 buses on the route or something, so it's amazing how times have changed. But anyway, we need to start it off, for my head to work this out, we need to start at this end. So after 5, we need to add in North Street, we need to add in Hillcrest Street, and then we need to add in Lee Street, and then we need to jump to, it's going to go in there at 9, so after 9, you need to stop there for 10, no, remove you, so after 9, you need to go into, back to Lee Street, no, I am mucking this up. I've totally missed one. So after Lee Street, you're going to go into there to 13th Street, into the transfer. Then after Boulder transfer, you go back to 13th Street, you go to Lee Street, you go to Hillcrest Street, you go to North Street, and then you go back into Locust Street. So there we go, so that's all that sorted. Getting that Locust word out there was a bit difficult. There's some sounds in Scottish, or not Scottish, Scottish is not a language, but in, like, for a Scottish accent it's really difficult to say, and like, there's a lot of sounds which people who don't speak with a Scottish accent struggle to say, like for example, ochtermuchty, and like rolling R's, like ochtermuchty, or loch, for example. These where you like roll the words. Loch is what we call a lake in Scotland, so I bet a lot of people would struggle to say that word, that's for sure. But anyway, with that said, let's go ahead and assign more buses onto this route. So let's jump down here, and you're going to need quite a lot more bendy buses, let's be honest. So we're going to add in 1, 2, 3 probably more bendy buses. So 1, 2, 3 for the time being. So that's an extra 180 seats going onto that route. And you can already see more people are waiting here, and it looks like it's mainly for the Boulder Jackson route as well. That is at 67 people waiting there. So the good thing is though, Jackson is gonna stop growing soon, which is good. But we've gone ahead and created this harbour here, so let's go ahead and create a new line, and let's do our first ever boat. So I don't know if this is going to be profitable or not, but that's it there. And it's going to be interesting, that's for sure. So we're going to... what? Well, we can't do B. We might as well just write out the whole word boat. We're just going to call you... I think I'm only going to have one boat, so I'm just going to call it boat. Boat in capital letters. And then what we're going to do is we're going to assign you a colour which... We've used all the colours, to be honest. We're going to assign you black, because I don't think we've used black yet. So black's that special colour which can only be used by the boats. So let's go ahead, and all the buses are near enough in profit. It's just the City Connect going around towards Ranch, which we need to go ahead and maybe alter after we get the boat up and running. So now that boat is ready, let's go ahead and I guess assign a boat to it. I don't know how you do that though. So is there like a boat depot? There must be some form of boat depot. Yes, is this a boat depot? A shipyard. Obviously a shipyard. Who calls it a boat depot? It's a boat depot. So, don't know where we'll put the boat depot. I don't know. I don't think it needs a road connection. So I think I'm just going to make a boat depot in the middle of nowhere here. I think we'll just build it like here, for example. And let's go ahead and see what ships we can buy. So I want a ship which is really, really fast and can carry a lot of people, which is probably going to be the most expensive one. So let's go ahead and go for passengers. So I'm looking at this one here. It's got top speed of 16 miles per hour, which isn't great, admittedly. Is there any ones that are really fast? So we could either go for these small ones, which can't carry a lot of people but can move very quickly, or we go for a big one which just doesn't go very quick. So I need to find a balance, and I don't think I'm going to be able to find a balance, to be honest. It's either going to be these smaller ones, which I'm thinking about going for, or it's going to be this big one here. So the loading speeds are actually kind of important. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to start with like 3 or 4 of these smaller ones, because I want this to be a very frequent route. So what we're going to do is let's get some of these assigned. Again, I'm just going to keep them in the default colour, because we're not going to get mixed up with boats. But that's 4 of those bought to start with, and then we're going to set you onto the boat line. So I want to see this actually, because again, as I said, I've never really dealt with boats before, but off you guys go, and hopefully you can speed up a little bit, because if that's your top speed, then it's going to take you a while. That's quite a good speed, I like that speed, and the game's on ×2 speed as well. So one thing we need to do though is change the bus which goes around the town here, possibly to come down to the very bottom here, just closer to the port. So I want to go ahead and create a new roads, which goes like down. I just want to create a road which just gets a bit closer to the harbour. That's really what I want. So it's saying too much slope as soon as I make a junction out of there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a junction from here, which swings round like so. And there's a house being built right where I want to build, so you're going to get removed, unfortunately. Sorry. That happens all the time. As I'm about to build something, something else happens. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to change the direction, I guess, of the bus. We're just going to add an extra bus stop, I guess, down here. And hopefully this bus can start making some money soon, because I think it's our only negative bus by quite a bit as well. It's losing a lot of money, so I'm guessing the frequency just... I've never been good with city buses, that's the thing, and that's why I'm just kind of glad we've got this map, because I'm trying to ignore city buses for the time being. But what we're going to do is, we're maybe going to... Is it just that the amount of people on it that are just not good enough, or is it just the frequency? I think it's just the people that want to travel around town are just not using it. But what I am going to do is I am very quickly going to go ahead and change that route so it can accommodate our new bus stop. So after bus stop number 5, you're going to come down here, and then after bus stop number 15, after bus stop number 14, you're going to come back into here as well. So that has truly mucked things up. So it should go for... No, I did do a bad. So let's get rid of you. So after bus stop number 4, you need to come in there. So there we go. So that's it. So 4, 5, 6, and then 14, 15, and 16. So that's that extra bus stop in here now, which is good. I'm starting to think the bendy buses, there's no real need for the bendy buses, so I'm gonna add in 2 new buses onto this route, but I don't think they're gonna be bendy ones. I think they're just gonna be these normal normal 40 capacity buses, just up the frequency a little bit, even though it is making quite a bit of a loss. I might start to pull the bendy buses off that route, to be honest, because there's really no need for them. There's no one travelling on that, there's no one travelling on that. No one really wants to go into town, so the bendy buses are they're just wasting money, I guess. Unnecessary money, which we do have, but I'd rather, you know, put that towards building something else, so. There are passengers waiting on the boat, which is great to see, so 3 people waiting at this end, and hopefully they can connect up to the bus. Let's go all the way up this other end here and see who's waiting. So, the bus altercation is making things in Jackson a little bit more crazy. This new bus stop is crazy mad, which is interesting to see. And we've also got that new bus stop there, so these towns are going to connect up like any episode now. Probably at the end of this or the start of the next episode. But you have people on you. You have 3 passengers on you, so there's 4 people waiting on the boat here. So it's good to see we've actually got a connection, which I'm so happy about. I'm so happy about. It's amazing to see that finally we've got one end of the map connected up to the other, and I'm starting to think as well that Redcliffs would benefit from a boat as well, because it would connect this town up too. So I think that's what I'm going to do, and then we're probably going to... We've still got a bit of time in this episode, which I can do 1 or 2 more things, but I would like to continue to, I guess, expand our boat empire. So I've played around with Ward's Ranch and I've made a few changes. So as you can see here, Ward's Ranch, it's got 5 people waiting, which is a low amount, but as you can see on the boat coming in, there's 15 people. If we look at the profit, it's already at 700,000, so I'm going to go ahead and very quickly buy even more boats. I'm actually going to double the amount of boats which are on this route, and just to make life, you know, a little bit easier, and just to make more money really. So let's go ahead and buy 4 more of you guys, and let's set you onto the classic boat line, which I'm going to have to rename if we do build more boats. But I've also changed the buses in Ward's Ranch as well. So I've made the around the town route, and I've made the, I guess, the much more important route. So as you can see, the old route, which is in blue here, that has got a frequency of 5 minutes, but it's losing a lot less money. And then you've got the yellow route, which is the Ward's Ranch 2, which is the much more important route, and it just pretty much goes direct from the main bus station down to the port through the middle of town, stopping at all the bus stops. So overall, I think it was something that was needed, and hopefully we can at least see one of them being profitable. Again though, I might come back and change this. But at this end of the map, all the routes are profitable, which is great, and that's us into 2012, so looks like the world's going to end at the end of this year. But all these routes are profitable, which is great. As we do know, it's only the 2, I guess, city routes for Ward's Ranch which are in the negative. Like, everything else is positive. So, looking here at the Arvada Dolores line, that route needs more buses, because if we have a look here, Dolores Ward's Ranch, you know, that needs some people. The Dolores route, it just needs more capacity. I think all the routes here need more capacity, so we're going to go ahead and add to that capacity, and I really do think Arvada is going to get itself an airport at some point. So we're going to go ahead and add 1, 2, 3, 4 new buses onto this route, so that's going to go into the Arvada Dolores route. I do apologise about background noise, by the way. I am at home and it is a bit of a mess, unfortunately. Then we need to go ahead and probably put, I would say, 2 more buses out of this bus depot here. You guys are going to be in pink. And I know we just assigned more buses onto this route actually, but I guess they're just needed right now. So it's going to be the Dolores Ward's Ranch, so you guys are going to get on the move. So it's good to see that we're up in capacity in and around this part of the world as well. And with that boat, hopefully everything is... We are making so much money. We're up to 109 million. Everything is so profitable. So I'm just really glad to see all that is working out. Anyway, so with those extra boats in, hopefully the 2 Ward Ranch city buses are going to make some profit eventually. Boulder's just getting extremely busy. That's the problem with Boulder. It's getting extremely busy, and we need to go ahead and, I guess, start to combat this. So it is people waiting on a lot of different routes, but it's mainly Willow Creek. Silverton's starting to get a bit popular as well. I think Silverton we need to go ahead and add more buses onto. As we can see, Silverton as well up this end, it's extremely busy. Silverton, 48 people waiting to go to Boulder, so Let's very quickly just check the profit margin of this bus. So Boulder to Silverton, it only has 6 buses, a frequency of every 3 minutes. However, it is making 1.3 million, so I think we just need to double the bus capacity there, pretty much. So let's go ahead and jump into here, get the City Bus 1. It is in a light green, and we're going to buy 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll buy 4 more buses, and then that should hopefully go ahead and help sort that routes capacity out, I guess. Hopefully, like we did with the Jackson, because overall Jackson, we've not got many queues. The boat, there's not many people waiting for the boat. The thing is though, if you are waiting for a boat, right, you're not actually waiting for very long. I mean, I'm sure lots of people are coming through here, you're just not waiting for very long. Then you're getting picked up on the bus, which the buses are doing extremely regularly, and they've also got room as well. They don't have as much room going back towards Boulder, but I mean, I think the buses are... We're looking here for Jackson, it's 63 seconds, so they are very, very regular, and I don't really want to make it too much more regular, if you know what I mean. But overall, everything is just going super, super well, and I'm super glad to see it. It looks like now these towns are so close to connecting up. I want to see how big Boulder is. Boulder is... not the road vehicle. So Boulder's got 1,000 people living in it. Jackson is probably also close to that. It's not quite there yet though. Then if we come over to Richardson, Richardson has got 978 people, so it's very close to 1,000. To Jeddah is very close as well, so Willow Creek, yep, Willow Creek's there. So there's a lot of towns here, Castle Rock, not quite, but getting there. You know, there's so many towns around here which are doing extremely well, and I'm glad to see it. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this episode up of Transport Fever here. We've built quite a lot of different things in this episode actually. We've built buses, we've built boats, we're going to try railways, but I don't think railways is going to work for the time being, but I've got an idea which I'm going to go ahead and apply in the next episode for railways, which should be good. Anyway, so thank you very much for watching this episode of Transport Fever. Let's connect up the Grand Canyon. Please leave a like, rating, subscribe if you are new around here. That's all for this video, so thank you very much for watching. My name is ConflctNerd Callum, and I'm out.